Welcome, noble men. Today, I want to talk about 10 traits every high-value man should carry with him. A man of high value has high standards for not only for himself, but those who surround him. This kind of man does not seek the approval of anybody and is so focused, no one can steer him off course of his mission. This man has a grip on his strengths and weaknesses and knows how and when he can use these to his advantage. He can be honest with himself and still be able to take a joke. But don't let his ability to make light of a situation deter you from the fact that he stands strongly for what he believes in and doesn't think for a second that he will apologize for it. This is the type of man you want to be able to trust with your life when you are in a situation where you have no leverage. Someone you're not afraid to open up with because you know everything he says will be applicable. If you want to be a high-value man, you need to have an unshakable belief system of values that will land you nothing but respect. And women will absolutely find you irresistible for it. I'm going to give you 10 traits you can apply to yourself so you can attract women in droves with minimal to no effort. You want to exchange intimate chats with. 1. You must be self-motivated. Noble men must be motivated by their mission. They cannot live someone else's dream. Instead, they inspire themselves to live in their life's mission. Because they are following their life's mission, no one can get in the way. They do not live their life according to others. Instead, they are motivated by their own ambitions, objectives, and goals. These men are very aware of what they want out of life, and they will do everything they can to seize every inch of opportunity that will get them closer to their goals. Because they are driven and move this way, naturally everyone around him will be heavily influenced to do the same. Now, this takes a great deal of self-awareness, which is something you need if you are to become a high-value man. In order to gain this type of influence, a great amount of work has to be put in, which takes a great amount of self-motivation. 2. They put their values above people. Now, this doesn't mean that people are lesser than your values, but what I mean by this is they might sacrifice for the greater good. You may encounter a situation where there are too many feelings involved, and these feelings might get in the way of a better outcome for everybody. A high-value man can see right through this and act accordingly. A kind of stoic approach to the situation instead of panic and anxiety. This kind of man is not a yes man either. But that doesn't mean that this man shouldn't choose kindness. A lot of people tend to think that they have to always be a straight-faced, untouchable, robot-like man. But this couldn't be farther from the truth. A man must never hide his personality or intentions when carrying these sorts of values with him. 3. A noble man is genuine in all his interactions with others. It is not wise to put on a mask and pretend to be who you're not in any situation. You are creating a false identity, and people will be adapting to this false identity thinking you are being genuine. Since you are not that person, people will be able to catch on to your gimmicks, and you will lose every ounce of trust you are working so hard to gain. It is extremely important to be authentic and consistent with who you are. And when you are authentic, it will be much easier to form genuine connections with others. Others high-value men don't hide or mask. 4. Noble men can't be bothered with drama. A high-value man is so motivated by his work that engaging in such drama is a complete waste of time. There's a quote that goes, "Great minds discuss ideas. Average minds discuss events. Small minds discuss people." This is because this sort of back and forth nonsense doesn't jive at all with the mind of a focused man. Drama comes with exerting unnecessary control on others that will only lead to more drama in the future. A complete waste of time. The main reason people cause drama is because they feel so weak that the only way they can feel strong about something is if they are making somebody's life harder. If you're watching this video, I know this is not the legacy you want to be leaving behind. 5. Self-worth. This is not being dependent on validation outside of yourself. This kind of self-worth is found completely within yourself. A man should not be easily swayed by the opinions of others, because each time you do that, you are just adding another string to the puppet of a man you are. If someone insults or criticizes, for example, you take it on the chin and move accordingly, brushing it off your shoulder. If their criticism is valid, you are able to accept it and move even better. This is not an infringement on your character. You must be able to discern these things for yourself. Never let negativity sway you off your path. 6. They have good relationships. It is important to have unshakable self-esteem, however, you must know how to treat others. Whatever you do, you must not expect people to reciprocate, because when you expect reciprocation, you are setting yourself up for failure. Don't get caught up with the fact this person didn't do something you were hoping that they would do. In doing that, you are only pouring from a cup that is half full. You need to pour from a cup that is completely full and is always filling itself back up. In doing so, you will attract positive people who will reciprocate without any resistance because you are going into the relationship without expecting anything in return. Don't bend over backwards for people and expect them to do the same. This is key for any relationship you are trying to build or maintain. Toxicity will only surround you with even more toxicity. Know this and immediately see a benefit in your relationships with friends, family, and even women. Curating these relationships is a byproduct of being a highly valued man. 7. They accept full accountability and are responsible for everything that happens in their life. High-value men know that they are responsible for everything good or bad. You are responsible for the amount of money you make, your health, and the love you get to experience. There is no one else in the world that is accountable for these things but yourself. Knowing this, you are able to make adjustments to your life, and these things like health, wealth, and relationships work together. These things are the foundation of what you get to experience, and it is all your fault whether you like it or not. Learn to accept full accountability and watch your life transform right before your eyes. 8. They are continuously learning, growing, and adapting. A man should be burdened and gifted with curiosity. I say this because it is a blessing and a curse. You must be curious enough to ask yourself questions that pertain to your life. For example, when pursuing a business venture, you should be curious enough to think about ways it may work out for you. And in this case, what you can also learn getting into this business. Now, the business venture thing was just an example, but you can apply this to all areas of your life. It is imperative to ask, what can I learn from this? That is the most important question you could ever ask yourself. Why? Because there is always something to learn, and if you are aware of that, you can apply that to your life and reap the benefits. You must always strive to be a better person than you were the day before, and how do you do this? By learning anything you can each and every day. Don't be afraid to fail too, because these things we call failure are often the best things to learn from. Again, this applies to all areas of your life. Once you start to succeed more often than not, you can then look at the times you failed to keep yourself in check from getting too cocky. Arrogance is the death of man, which brings me to the next trait. 9. Confidence. A high-value man is very aware that their high standards are admirable to others. However, this should never come at the expense of others. There's a difference between confidence and pride. Always stand for what you believe in, but don't cast others down in the process. Also, don't be all talk and not ever deliver on your promises. A confident man speaks through his actions more often than his words. Somebody with low self-esteem is the complete opposite. All talk, trying to seek validation from others, and never delivering on what they say they will do. Be confident, respect others, and be impeccable with your word. 10. Honesty. We all know honesty goes a long way. It is critical to every relationship to include an element of honesty. Trust is the foundation of any relationship you will find yourself in. Without trust, that relationship won't go very far. Trust allows people to open up with you, and if you combine trust with all the other traits mentioned in this video, you are well on your way to become a noble man. Thank you for watching this video. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment any other admirable traits a high-value man should have.